Thomas Dekker once said, "Sleep is the golden chain that ties our health and our bodies together." And of course, he's absolutely right. It doesn't matter how much you're doing for your body's physical and mental health, whether you're eating the best diet anybody's eaten, whether you're working out every day, lifting weights every day, cardio, whatever it is, meditating for your mental health and breathing exercises, all these things, of course, are excellent for you. But without good quality sleep, restful sleep, REM sleep, if you like, the deepest sleep, then they're next to nothing, useless, if you like. They won't help you, all of these things, because your body cannot replenish, repair itself, grow muscle. Your immune system gets compromised, your energy levels get compromised, your mental health is compromised, you're irritable, you're discontent, you've got no get up and go, no energy, like I say, and you're trying to lose weight, you won't be losing weight, you'll actually probably be putting it on. Nearly every system in your body relies on the restorative quality of your sleep. I mean, that's fact, that's not me saying that, that is science and fact. And there's a lot of more research recently been done into sleep and its importance in every aspect of your life. And it's overlooked by so many people. I mean, it was for me, for a long, long time, certainly in my younger days. I think, I'll sleep when I die type of attitudes, and all of that rubbish. And of course, I was totally wrong. It doesn't do anyone any good. Everyone needs a slightly different amount of sleep. Depends on age and all the rest of it and various circumstances. But between 6 and 8 hours of good quality restorative sleep is ideal. This channel's about recovering from addiction, essentially a lot of it. There's a lot of information on it. So please subscribe if you can. Just helps one or two more people perhaps get some help from my good and bad experiences. But certainly one of the good experiences was finding a decent amount of sleep and quality sleep, because after addiction in particular, sleep disappeared for months. There was no, insomnia that was present for months and months. It was awful. And many of you out there who've suffered from the same thing, will know how horrible that is for every aspect of your life. So me finding this routine, I've only really put the final pieces in place later. I mean, I'm going to share just a couple of good housekeeping habits to start with you, which you may or may not have heard of. But then there's 2 or 3 things at the end of the video, which I'll quickly share with you, which have been an essential part of giving me that perfect sleep, if you like. It doesn't happen we're not perfect, are we? We're all perfectly imperfect, as I like to say, and doesn't happen every night, but it happens more nights than it doesn't. And for me, that is a miracle, a breakthrough. And, it's thanks probably more to these other things at the end than the housekeeping stuff, because I've been doing that for quite a while, the housekeeping stuff. So, like I say, I'll just share with you a couple of good habits to get into prior to bed. Temperature of a bedroom, between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, ideally. If you can control that in any way, that's perfect if you're living in a hot country. I mean, I live in a really hot country, so I have to rely on sort of aircon and fans. But aircon's expensive with the current crisis, so it's been more fans, But trying to get it down to that temperature, having a window open if necessary, whatever, is perfect. But 60 to 67. No screens a couple of hours before bed. It's a golden rule, really. At the end of the day, most people have insomnia and are kept awake by a busy mind which can't switch off. And that releases cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine, all of these things which are your morning chemicals, if you like, the things that wake you up and get you out of bed in the morning, start to get released at night, and that's not ideal, obviously. So avoid any sort of blue light screens in your room, computers, televisions, phones. You've got to knock them on the head, certainly an hour before bed, but ideally 2 hours before bed. So they've gone. I mean, I read with a Kindle on the sleep light setting on the Kindle, and that's probably ideal, or very low light in the bedroom initially. So that's that. Eating Don't have a big meal before bed. Ideally, don't eat 3 hours before bed. I always have my sort of meal about never later than 6 in the evening. If that's impossible for you, fair enough. But you know, if you're coming home late from work, you're probably going to have to work around that, and you're going to have to eat a bit later, obviously. But then don't eat anything else before bedtime if you can. A couple of hours at least. Give your body. If your body's digesting food, it's working and keeping you awake. So that 3 hours is essential. And also the very last thing I eat that's after that meal is a banana. I found that and the goodness that releases into my body, the slow carbohydrate, potassium, and all of these things that are in a banana have a sort of soporific effect. They're good for sleep. So that's food. So another thing, make your bedroom, not an office, not a TV room, not a lounge, not a dining room, as a lot of people do. It's a bedroom. So your mind has to associate you going into that room with sleep. So that's when you go in there, you're going in there to sleep. Your mind then will sort of automatically start to switch off and get used to that. And that's really important when it comes to sleep. So there are a few bits of sort of common sense, good housekeeping, if you like. Also, I mean, obviously, if you're lucky enough to have a comfy bed, a comfy mattress, and all of these things, that all those things obviously help. But with this routine, you know, you can probably get to sleep anywhere if you've had a busy day. So what you're aiming to do, also, finally, before I just add these 3 things at the end, is get good daylight, as much daylight as you can during the day. If you're working in an office all day, that's difficult, isn't it? But in your breaks, in your lunchtime, in whatever, you try and get out. Doesn't matter if it's sunny or not. It's better if it's sunny. But that light is what you need to get a lot of during the day, because that light is what stimulates your awake chemicals, if you like, your hormones, your epinephrine, your adrenaline, and all these things that get you going in the morning. Light wakes you up. But getting a lot of it during the day means you'll produce more melatonin at night. And melatonin is the hormone which is responsible for switching you off and you getting decent sleep. Some people take melatonin supplements. I wouldn't recommend that, although if it helps you in the short term, fair enough. But your body stops producing it or doesn't produce as much of it if you're taking supplements. It takes a while to get back into any sort of rhythm. Plenty of daylight during the day, melatonin at night. And that means blackout curtains. It means making your room as dark as possible. Because to start that melatonin production, you don't need any light in your room at all. So if that means sleeping with a mask on over your eyes, that's good. Blackout curtains are good. You don't want any chinks of light coming in from outside of your room at all, like landing lights and all of this sort of stuff. Any chink of light will stop that melatonin production and stop you sleeping. If light comes in during the night, you know, any point during the night, it'll wake you up probably, or it'll break that rhythm of your sleep. So you need to make sure you're in total darkness if you can when you go to sleep. And finally, these 3 things I want to share with you. Now, I don't use them all together generally, and I may use the first 2 I'll use sort of alternately, depending on the mood I'm in and the way I'm feeling. Sometimes, one will work for me when one won't. It depends on what's happening in my mind and how much stress, because it's the stress and the thoughts and the busy mind that keeps us from dropping into this low-level rhythm, which drops us into sleep, basically, because we're constantly flitting around our thoughts and our stress, and that releases cortisol and adrenaline before bed, and that's not ideal. So you want to switch all that off. And the way I do that is once, I've gone through all the rest of that routine, got everything ready, I'll get headphones on. Don't have to be headphones, but usually these things are more effective with headphones. And there's, I've gone to YouTube actually for these, but you can download any of these things I'm going to talk about now on various websites, download them onto your own equipment. But the ones I'm talking about on YouTube, you can find them on YouTube, really good. No adverts on them either to break the rhythm of them. They're specifically designed for that. The first one is Nidri Yoga, Nidra, Yoga, Nidri Yoga, which literally means yogic sleep. Before you switch off, yoga meditation, it's not like anything you've had before. As I say, it means yogic sleep. It switches you off. It's a guided meditation, 10-15 minutes. I say meditation because that's a sort of generalization. Anyone can do it. It works for everyone. You switch off parts of your body various times. It reduces your frequencies in your head into a sort of half sleep, half wake feeling, preparing you just to drop off when you've finished it. Absolutely brilliant. It's science-based. It's not, you know, these things aren't woo-woo, they're science. So they're proven. So try them, you know, because as I say, one may work for you and one may not, you know, it's up to you. The second thing, if that, you know, is binaural beats, which you may have heard of. Your brain works in different frequencies. The deep sleep frequency that you're looking for is called delta. The delta rhythm in your brain is the sleep rhythm. And that's 4 hertz and below, technical term, I suppose, for it. But there's loads of binaural beats on YouTube. Some go on for 10 hours, no adverts in them, as I say, and will slowly take you down through the alpha state, right down into the delta state, into that low rhythm. And you'll get really good, deep, replenishing sleep. You know, they're excellent. Finally, white noise. A lot of families play white noise into their baby's room, you know, plug in white noise, because it cuts out all of the peripheral sounds. Thing is, any sort of small sounds can keep you awake, annoying as they are, but sharp sounds, small sounds. I discovered white noise. There was a big concert on across the road, and my daughter mentioned it to me because she has a baby. And brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Again on YouTube, there's 10-hour white noise if you want it. I played it through a speaker into my room so I don't have to get up, have it whatever volume you want it, but it cuts out any peripheral noise, and it also reduces that frequency in your head as well, down to that delta frequency. You know, it just blocks out anything else and you focus on that. It's amazing. It really does send you off to sleep. So good luck with all of that. You know, there's more things. Please subscribe to the channel, as I say. It just helps 1 or 2 more people see the videos. Carpe Diem is the motto of the channel. Get some good restful sleep tonight. Make today the day you change your life. Much love to you all. Bye-bye.